What are we talking about today?
It's the month that Marty McFly spends traveling through time. He spends like 3 weeks traveling through time. Yeah, according to his perspective, it's about 3 weeks.
Well, he spends a week back in 1995. And I think he's only in the future for, what, like a day?
Yeah, but then he also goes back in time again.
Then he goes back in time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it at 3 weeks on his perspective or relative to...
Because I don't remember how long the third one is, but it might be... It's like a week and a bit.
I haven't seen the third one.
Or maybe it's less than a week. I don't remember. It might be less than 3 weeks. But yeah, it's about that. And you just saw... You still haven't seen the third one, but you saw the first two just today. Let's talk about Back to the Future 1 first.
Well, like, I was a little skeptical going into it because, well, it's a 1980s movie. And it quickly went away because I was having a lot of fun with the movie. Like, I thought, like, it's fun. The concepts they bring into it are really fun. Like, obviously, like, the things they do wouldn't, if time travel were real, some of the things they do just wouldn't work.
But the thing is, it is consistent with itself.
It is. It's very consistent with itself. Other than maybe, because I haven't seen the third one, but in the second one, he ruins his life in the future because he hates being called a chicken all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they...
You watched the end of the... Oh!
So
he
gets smashed in the face with the door, but
I'll tell you about it in the third one.
Okay.
When we talk about the third one, I'll tell you what happens.
But anyways, in the first one, there was a lot of funny parts. Like, it just... Doc Brown, he's awesome. Michael J. Fox, he's fucking... Marty McFly, he's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny, though, like, how his whole situation between him and his mom, like, his mom was trying to hook up with him, and, like, that would be so awkward.
No, I know. Like, especially since his mom was...
His mom was hot, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And to find out that his mom was, like, not the innocent girl that she had made herself out to.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That she was, like, a drinker, a smoker, and she liked to have fun by going
This isn't the
parking.
first time I
this isn't the first time I parked.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, no, I love this movie. I've seen it since I was little, and the first one I think is just like so perfect, and the way that they end it is cool. Like, they didn't. The thing is, apparently they didn't intend to make a sequel when Robert Zemeckis first made it. And then, because of basically how much money the first one... They
set it up perfectly for a second one.
But they also kind of tied their hands. And made it so they had to...
They did.
But they figured out a way to change the story from making it so the whole thing was about trying to stop his kid from doing something, right? Yeah. That was only a short little thing.
I didn't know that. I figured the whole movie was going to be about them in the future.
I know.
But then when, like, they were there briefly and they came back and they realized, like, they came back to their present time, realized things are not great at all.
Mm-hmm.
Biff had fucked things right up, and they had to go back in time to stop future Biff from contacting old Biff.
He still had to. They had to let him contact him, but then
because they had to let him so that he could go back, so that they in the future could get their DeLorean to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's a little convoluted, but it still makes sense. The whole
the whole thing with Jennifer though was a little bit like. What? Like, there's definitely a few times within the movies where it's just kind of like, I guess maybe not the first one because he didn't have any plutonium, he had to rely on that lightning bolt, right?
Yeah.
But in the second one, before Biff went back in time, there was multiple times where they could have just gotten into the DeLorean and just gone and restarted it almost.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. But, I don't know. It's kind of... Because, like, in the first one still, they have... I mean, it's all... I don't know. I like the first one. It's way smaller. Like, you can tell that it's super small budget, and that's why it's also, like, they went back 30 years, because it's easier to go back, right? And, I don't know. Overall, it is, like... pretty terrific. Everybody, it's like just super convinced. Everybody's super convincing in their roles and stuff. Like it's a little bit cheesy.
Some of the special effects are definitely pretty good. Like when they're doing the whole Biff and Gif. Or no, not
yeah,
Biff
but that's
and
the
Gif.
second one.
I mean, yeah. Well, okay, you're talking about the first one.
Yeah,
Even
so
then.
we're still talking about the first one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, they have. Yeah, the special effects in the first one still are pretty good. Like because they still do. At the end of this, they like all of the stuff with the lightning and all the, like, effects at the end with, because at the end of the first one they show the flying car and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Still, which that's still good effects, and the time travel effects and stuff are still pretty good. It still holds up like as a movie, right?
No, like, can we go on to the second one now?
Well, let's kind of rate the first one. A little bit.
Okay, yeah. I actually really enjoyed the movie. So, even though, because when we watched the original Halloween, I did a rating of what I would rate it if you were to watch it nowadays and you'd never seen it before. Because back in the day, it's obviously going to be a lot better than what it was. But for people who haven't seen it nowadays, it's going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I rate it, is how if someone hadn't seen it and they're going to watch it nowadays, I'm going to rate it on what I think they would like it at. Or what at least I like, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rate it to nowadays standards, but that's the thing though, is I'm still gonna rate it fairly high because
I'm with you.
I
agree
had
on
fun
everything
watching
that you said.
I had fun watching the movie. Like it had fun concepts. Some of the special effects were actually held up for being how old it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to give it like a 7.5.
Yeah.
I almost want to give it an 8, but no. I want to go 7.5 out of 10.
I am gonna rate it the same aspect of like looking as if it like compared to modern movies, and I would say it is a little bit dated, just in aspects of the fact that if you were a kid in today's day, you wouldn't like it's from the it was made in the 80s, so like there's 80s slang and like there's some things about it that yeah. What is is there a problem with gravity in the future?
Yeah, is there a problem with Earth's gravitational pull?
So overall, it like I said, it's in some ways it's a little dated, but in terms of filmmaking, it's not. Like it still holds up.
It does. It definitely does.
And so I would rate it at probably. Yeah, I don't know. 7.5 is pretty good. I'm gonna have to go a little higher than you and go 7.7.
7.7. Okay. Because I put it between 7 to 7.5. I usually that's the thing I find myself rating. I usually give myself like a 0.5 range. Yeah.
But yeah, so that one, the first one is quite good,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody loves it because it's awesome.